Yeah, what is up, everybody? How are you doing? You know who I am. You know what this show is, and you know what we're about to do. I am the Birdman. This is the Birdman Show. Let's go ahead and do it with me. That is right. We are here on the Birdman Show. This is a very special edition of the Birdman Show, and I'm gonna tell you why. As soon as I can turn my music off, I'm getting there. It's been a day. It has been a day, but this is the Birdman Show. If you're looking at your screen, normally used to seeing myself and Ace, but we're doing something different today. And before I announce what we're really going to do, I want to definitely go around and I want to see how everybody's doing. First of all, I want to acknowledge my co-host Ace. Ace, how the heck you doing today? Hey, we don't have any volume, Ace.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Mr. Verizon.
Hey, how about that? I just wanted to acknowledge one thing you said before we actually went live, and that was that if we wanted to, we could turn our cameras off so that if we didn't want to be seen yet. And everybody should be used to me being a fucking doof by now. So why the hell would I need to turn my camera off?
I'm just saying, not everybody's comfortable with being on screen until it's time.
Right.
So it's all
right.
like you take, for instance, Britt there. Not I'm playing. Britt probably just got off work.
She did. She's still in the muck. Where's Amanda at?
I don't know. I just text her. So I don't know. She might have got wrapped up with kids. So I don't know. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what's popping with that. But anyways, we will truck along. But you're doing all right there, Ace?
Yep, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, I feel you on that, brother. I feel you on that. So let's just go around the room here. First of all, let's start with Mama Bear. Mama Bear, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing all right. I'm here.
You two in a cage fight or something? What's going on here? Y'all getting ready for the battle of sexes? Is that what you talking about doing? Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. Bet. Britt, I'm gonna give you a little bit more time. I don't know if I'm assuming you're able to hear us.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Well, do you want to go ahead and address everybody then?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Well, Britt, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty I'm doing pretty good.
That's a lot of pretties there.
There was a lot of pretties there.
I know.
There was a lot of pretties.
Okay, well, that's good. And of course, last and certainly not least, the lovely Desiree. Desiree, how are you doing?
I'm here.
Well, I can clearly see you guys are here.
It's been an eventful day taking care of the child, let me tell you. So I'm ready for this little bit of a break.
Yeah, that child is that's a whole other separate episode in itself. Yeah, it is. Well, you already know who I am. I am the Birdman, and let's just tell you why we're here. On this Birdman Show, we are going to be doing what we call the Battle of the Sexes. Okay, now listen, we're not obviously getting into a octagon, and we're not battling it out, but we are going to be talking about some issues that maybe the men and women are having. I'm prepared for some of this stuff to get a little bit heated. But with the people that have assembled here, I know it's not going to be anything that's going to be it's not going to be anything that's going to be too crazy or outlandish or anything like that. But yes, I am definitely looking forward to it. First of all, before we get too much into it, let's start. When we talked about doing this battle of sexes, and and we kind of start formulating this idea of doing this. What were some of the things, first things that came to your mind when it came to doing this?
Mm. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, I think the biggest one would be I don't know how to, I guess, testing your relationship.
Okay. Um, given the title of the show, I could definitely get that and understand that. Mama Bear, how about yourself?
For me, when this was mentioned, I honestly thought it would have something to do with learning the inner workings of how one another think, feel, respond. That's what I thought anyway.
Okay. I can get down with that. And I guarantee there's gonna be some learning going on in this one. I guarantee I second that, Mama Bear. Brett, how about yourself?
I heard them answer, but I did not hear your question. I was talking to Matthew at that time. I'm very sorry. What was the question?
Oh, no problem, no problem. Tell Matthew if he's gonna be in the background saying stuff, he can get his butt on the camera too. But anyways, the question was, when we first started talking about this and this subject came up that we're gonna do this for this episode, what were some of the things that might have been running through your mind when we started talking about this topic of battle of the sexes?
Like the topic itself, I don't know, kind of like picking, I guess I thought it'd be like picking key points that maybe there was a difference of opinions on and having like a little debate about it or something like that, throwing points out there.
Okay. Oh, trust me, that's gonna happen. Trust me, that's gonna happen. Ace, my man, what about yourself, brother?
You ready?
Do it.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
Exactly. Seriously. Listen, we can try to slice and dice this however we want to. When you think about that, that's just one of those things that somebody think, oh, battle of the sexes, oh, it's about to be on and popping. I'm be honest for myself. Well, Ace, first of all, great intro. Do you want to go ahead and answer the question, or was that your answer?
That was totally my answer.
Dig it.
I know that this is not going to be anything like the real talk was, as far as giving everybody information on what to look forward to when starting a new relationship. Excuse me, ma'am. I gave you your fucking time to talk. Give me mine. But I honestly don't see it getting out of hand as far as anybody like ending their relationship tonight. That's why we handpicked our participants.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because the funny thing about it is, I think all of us collectively have been either in a live, whether it was here or on TikTok, where we've had conversations that have gotten heated. And it's one of those things where I think with the love and respect that we have for each other, even if we have a conversation that it gets heated or we have difference of opinions, it doesn't affect our relationships. And I think that's what's key about being able to have a conversation like we're going to be having, is the fact that there are going to be difference of opinions. There's going to be plenty of instances where we're not going to agree. And we may even get upset because we're trying to make a point and someone's just not hearing our point, or we feel like we're not being heard. But at the end of the day, we still love and respect each other. I think Desiree's having some issues with her phone. I don't know if
I
it's
didn't
her
tell
phone
her
or
to leave. I just told her that she needed to kick it up a little bit.
she's having some issues.
Bounce.
So yeah, she'll get back in a few. But yeah, no, I really that's what I felt when it came to doing this. This particular subject. I definitely, before we go any further, I want to thank everybody who's viewing with us on right here on our platform Riverside on YouTube. Definitely also want to thank everybody who's watching us on in X Universe. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. We're also not only this, but Ace, we're also live streaming on the Birdman 143 Twitch channel. So I'm loving that. It's freaking awesome. We're expanding, which is going to be great. Like with Twitch and Twitch universe. Some of the things I plan on doing is I'm also big in gaming, so I'll be getting on there. I'll be doing some gaming, trying to interact with people to help our audience grow there as well. So I'm really ecstatic about that. Let me get Des back in here. Hopefully she's got that issue fixed. But I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I am most definitely looking forward to it. Definitely want to say what's up to everybody that is here. Like I said, that is watching us on our YouTube channel. It's pretty cool because we get to see who all's where they're watching from, where they're commenting from. And so it's cool. So this is what I like about this platform. No matter where you're watching us from, all the comments are going to show up there. So it'll even show where you're commenting from and everything. Chad, what's up? Mama Joe in the house. Yeah, we got a great collection. Chrissy's in the house. Yep, I did see Carrie. Fury Storm, saw her in the house. So hey, let's get this bad boy started. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing I felt like we should first really kind of just identify and make sure we have a definition of is number one, what defines a man or a woman? What defines this whole thing that we're going to be talking about? Because we all know there's going to be difference of opinions. So in your opinion, we're going to go around the room. Kind of tell me what you think about when you think about when somebody says, okay, will you tell me what a man is and what a woman is? Let's start with Britt, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, because you just disappeared on us, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Dez either. Y'all just off the cameras and everything. So turn to radio show. Whatever.
I'm trying to get my stuff set up right.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool. All right, so Britt.
Yeah.
What if somebody comes to you and they're like, I'm just confused about all kinds of things. Tell me what a man or what a woman is.
It's a very loaded question.
Okay, let's break it down to this. You give us your definition of what you think a woman is in today's society.
So he basically just gave you the preschool version of that question.
I took the bullets out of the barrel for you, Britt.
Like, in my opinion, I know you've got like the generational roles. Like when we were younger, the man is the provider and the supporter. The woman.
Hey, Britt, don't get in the roles yet. We ain't there yet. I just want a definition, woman.
I thought that's what I was given.
I don't roles. I didn't say nothing about no roles, responsibilities.
Did I say anything about roles and responsibilities, or did I say you tell us what you think a woman is in today's society?
We're gonna get into all that, Britt. I got you. Don't worry about it. You hold on to that though. Hold on to it.
I mean, that's part of the question. But the question right now is, to you, what do you perceive a woman to be in today's society?
Woman's got a twat, man's got a pecker.
All right.
That is the most simplified fucking version I could ever have heard.
Freaking loved it. That was freaking awesome. You, ma'am. 100% you, ma'am. That was freaking awesome.
And all y'all who are going to be watching this or who are watching this now, don't you come after me with none of that stuff. They
who?
We asked a question. That was all you.
Wait a minute.
That was all you.
You know what?
I can say penis. I can say vagina.
I gave you the preschool version.
I just don't know how I got thrown into that. I just asked the question. Oh my God! Like seriously, this is what we're doing.
I don't know. Like I guess that's how I perceive it.
Okay.
So
okay. All right. Okay. Well, men got twigs and berries, and women have pastures with a canyon. All right. Mama Bear.
She took the words right out of my mouth, but I was going to say it his way. I can say penis. I can say gina. But honestly, the woman is the feminine and the man is the masculine part of the world.
It's like kind of also depends on what part of the country you're in. Anyways, another show. Des, I know you're still trying to get your setup there. Are you able to answer that question though?
Look, I ain't got nothing because Britt just pretty well summed up every little thing that you could ever say right there.
Okay. That's no problem.
But I mean, that's, and you can't even go with, women have boobs either, because men are now getting boobs, and some men, if they're big enough, have their boobs already. So you can't use that one either. Like Ace over there patting his chest because he has boobs too.
Yeah.
Tatonkas or itty bitty titty.
Yeah. See, if Britt would watch the private chat, I told her to holster them damn things.
When the girls want to come out to play. That's all right, Britt. That's all right. We're trying to gain more followers, so just do what you do. Anyways.
No, because then we'll have to have her on here every fucking week. Like, where's the boobs?
Okay. Ace, what's your answer to
that? In today's society, I can't tell you what a woman is. I mean, I'm looking at three of them, but for me to be able to describe them to you, I couldn't. As far as what I perceive a man to be in today's society, broken. I perceive a man to be overworked, underpaid, struggling through life. No matter how much money he has, he's struggling through life because when he was younger trying to make that money, he worked his body into an early grave. Dealing with trauma from whatever avenue that it comes from. Not having a very big circle of people that he can truly trust. So the avenues of being able to open up to have somebody there to understand or just lend an ear is limited. And even if you do have the avenues for that to happen, you don't want to burden anybody else. Because as a man in today's society, you still look at life as you are the protector. You are the one that is supposed to be there for everybody else, not letting your burdens be the burdens of anybody else. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You keep taking on somebody else's problems and insecurities while you keep bottling yours up in the meantime. Now, did y'all hear that answer? Now, can we get a legit answer on what one of you perceives a woman in this day and age to be?
Who wants to tackle it?
Britt's like, nope, I'm out.
Basically, you just described a bunch of single mothers out there too. They feel the same way. They feel stereotyped. What is the perfect woman? Who can say? She's got to have the perfect body. She's got to have the perfect mind, the perfect intellect, the perfect job. She's got to have everything perfect. But being a single mom, you got to tackle in being exactly what you just described. So we have to do it both.
I'm gonna say something now. So far, right now, we're hitting with kid gloves. So I'm going to be devil's advocate, and I'm going to address Carrie's comments. Now, first of all, I agree with, like, well, when it came to the women on
all of us,
question, I biologically I can agree with you. Like biologically, I agree with you. On Ace's comments, I do agree with him. When it comes to that, I definitely do agree with you, Carrie, with what you said. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to break that down. Okay. Now, once again, and this is a disclaimer. All right. Don't take anything that any of us say as we are talking directly to you. Okay. If it hits you, it hits you. If it doesn't hit you, let it roll off your back like a duck and keep on swimming. Were you about to say something?
Something that Birdman and I, Des, whenever she shut her camera off, it just went whoop, like a close-up on her as it like went out. And I was like, well, that was kind of cool. But one thing that Birdman and I talked about yesterday, whenever we were coming up with the topics tonight, was when we answer, everybody that is in here right now is in a relationship in one capacity or another, whether it is boyfriend and girlfriend, partners in crime, husband and wife. No matter how you look at it, we are in a relationship in some capacity. The one thing that we are wanting when answering these questions is don't look at it as though you are in a relationship. Answer them as a single person. We want to know what your opinion of each question is as you. Is that understood?
Yeah, you kind of froze on my end, so I didn't know what was going on. No, yes, 100%. Thank you for bringing that back up, Ace. Because we did talk about that in the production meeting. And so I'm so glad you bring that up. One thing I'll say, before I finish that thought, Des, if you're on the Wi-Fi on that device, turn it off. I don't know if because like on my like the phone and the iPad and everything, I turned the Wi-Fi off. So that way it didn't. I mean, we have our internet's fine, but I just want to make sure because we're running off of this, it's not pulling too much.
She turned the Wi-Fi off, and
but one thing I'll say
was she on a tablet?
I think she's on her phone.
Because she kicked the Wi-Fi off and she like was gone.
I think she just, I don't know what she did. I mean, push from shove. She used my iPad. Anyways, as I was saying, I want to address Carrie's comments. Now, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm going to address it, because I can hear people out there. Because here's where the issue starts happening when it comes to men and women with some of these issues and concerns. Because the one question I can hear in my head, somebody saying, well, Carrie said something about single mothers. Question I've been hearing a lot on social media is, well, number one, why are they single? The thing is, once again, this does not hit every single woman. Unfortunately, you get these idiots that get on social media that are posting all these dumb videos and doing all this other dumb stuff, and you see why they're single. They're not single because they can't find somebody. They're single by choice. A lot of them are out there just having sex with any man that wants to have sex with them, and then they end up getting pregnant, and they're 100% not worthy of that. That title of a mother, that title of a father has gotten lost in society. That is a title. And when I say title, it's just like your job title. If I'm head of HR, if I'm the CEO of a company, that title carries responsibility. And you've got too many of these single women out there that are not responsible. They're not mothers. There's just someone who happened to be able to carry a baby to full term. That's who they are. Let's call them for what they are. Like I said, once again, this does not affect all women. Also, going along with that, sometimes in relationships, things just don't work out. Okay, that just happens. Sometimes it happens. Unfortunately, in extreme cases, sometimes someone is not able to live full term with that person. That happens. So, to go along with your comment, Carrie, I don't want to group the women who are doing their job as a single mother. You're not a single mother. You're a parent. Whether you're with somebody or not, you are a parent. Stop with the single mother crap. I love all you women out there that are doing it, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're staying strong, and you're putting your head down, and you're going to work every single day. You're not a single mother. You're a parent. That single mother title goes out to all those women that are still out there trying to club, still out there drinking and doing all that other crap, not being a real mother, out there pushing their responsibilities off on their grandparents or even the baby daddy, you know what I'm saying, or somebody else pushing their responsibility. You are a single mother. I will call you a single mother. You're not a single parent. You're a single mother, because single mothers do that crap. A true parent, no matter if they're single, if they're with somebody, they're going to do what that child needs to be done. Okay, that's why I wanted to address that. I want to make sure we're making a clear distinction between those two. I mean, can you agree with that? Okay, awesome. I just want to make sure we have a clear distinction with that. Like I said, I agree with everything you guys said. Well, like I said, biologically, women, you hit it right on the head. You hit a part on there when it came to the men, and Carrie, you really hit that part when it came to the women's side. So I commend both of y'all on that. That was very, very, very well done. Now, Brittany.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the definition and define what roles and responsibilities are in a real relationship. And actually, you know what? Let's back up. No, let's back up because before we can get to the relationship part, let's talk about something else first. Let's talk about first of all, and once again, like A said, as we're doing this panel, I want you to tailor your answers towards if you were a single man or a single woman and you're being asked these questions. Okay, kind of try if you can. I know it's going to be difficult for us, but try if we can to not put our relationships into this panel. Okay, just try if you can. So my question now is, okay, now we've defined somewhat what a man and a woman is. Um, let's talk about now as a single man, as a single woman, what do you look for in a partner? Okay. Now, going along with that, what you're looking for in a partner, we're going to hit the second part of that question, and I'll go into it once we answer this question. So let's start with Mama Barely. Let's start with you. I know I'm picking on you.
No, you're good. You're good.
So what you got?
So, what I look for in a partner. Well, I felt like I'm not singled out, but what I looked for in a person is someone who sees me as a person, doesn't see me as what they can benefit from me. Somebody who has great sense of personality. Got to have a personality, no matter if he's an asshole or not. Got to have a personality. You know, he's got to have heart. And by saying heart, I don't mean just an actual beating heart. I'm talking about somebody who feels in everything that they do. And I would expect them to want no less than the same from me. Actually understand the meaning of equals in a relationship. It doesn't throw the L word out there. Love is used too much and doesn't hold value the way it used to. Some of us actually hold that value. Just appreciate, respect, loyalty, faithfulness. Same thing that I would be willing to offer them.
I like that. I like that. Very well said. Very well said. Um, Desiree, same question to you, ma'am.
Oh Lord. Um, I think the main thing that I would look for in a partner is somebody that one I can actually see, uh, somebody that can help me grow as a person. I don't want to be with anybody that's going to hold me back from, doing my dreams or anything else like that. Somebody who's very encouraging, and supports me in those decisions. Somebody who is not, and I think it was brought up earlier as I was in the midst of trying to get everything situated. Somebody who doesn't want to be with me just for the sexual aspect. Um, I'm not a piece of meat. Don't treat me like one, or I will treat you like the trash and take you out. I want somebody who has a great sense of humor. Carrie said personality. Personality is great, but if you don't have a sense of humor and we can't have fun together, it's a dead end. Like you're not going to progress anywhere if you can't laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. Um, like I said, somebody who's going to be there to support me. If we do have kids in the future, which Can't have any more. So don't anybody be thinking that. If we did have kids in the future, somebody who's actually, going to step up and help me when it comes to taking care of the kids. And somebody who's going to get along with my crazy family and fit right in, because everybody knows my family is a little insane.
A little.
But I love them, and I want somebody who's going to treat me with respect. And due to past relationships, it would have to be somebody that is not physical towards me, or mental, or emotional, but mainly physical. That's my answer.
Okay. Good answer. Britannia,
Yes.
your go.
Um,
Oh, she pulled a piece of paper
So-
out. She done wrote some notes down.
I
Oh,
was right
snap.
just so that like I can keep on track. That's how I do the best.
Roger that.
So-
Roger that.
But like me personally, when I'm looking like for someone in a relationship or to get into a relationship with, I mean, trust is a big thing. I know it's earned. No one just gets trust. It's earned. But you break that trust, for me, there's no relationship. There's loyalty. There's the communication aspect, because like I want someone who's going to be able to sit there and maturely discuss a rational conversation if there's a conflict or something like that. I know it won't always be like that, but the way that I look at it is I need someone who's going to work with me, not against me. And we can basically build the foundation of our relationship, because that's how I look at it. You want to start with the foundation first and then build your relationship up.
I agree. That was pretty good, Britt. I take back everything I said about you.
No, you don't.
You're right. Still mad about the Mandela effect. Ace.
Wasted sad not getting you blocked.
Well, that comes in a close second. You're the one that brought the shit back up. For me, I am broken. I know I'm broken. I need somebody who is going to be able to be understanding for the countless medication trials that I had to go through to find the medication that works to control my temper. When I get to that one and it starts not working, can stand there and be by my side to work with me and keep me calm while we find another one that works for me. I need someone who is going to be part of my support system, who is going to be there and work with me, not against me, whenever it comes to my mental health. I know that I have physical downfalls that prevent myself from being physically intimate. And I have to have somebody who is completely understanding in that department. And Des said it the best. I do have a crazy ass family. And if I've given too many times, I have pushed my family aside for the person that I wanted to be with. And too many times it was the wrong choice to make. So I'm to the point in my life where if you're not going to be willing to be a part of my family's life, then you don't have a place in my life. So, I mean, those are the things that I would look for in somebody to start dating.
Okay. Very well said, everyone. Before I comment on that, I want to definitely make sure I bring this comment to the forefront. Deception King said it best. Society has changed so much that loyalty and faithfulness is almost non-existent. Um, that is a very true and very sad statement. But spot on. Thank you, Deception King, for that. Um, Here's how I view that question. For me, um, I don't require a lot. I don't require a lot from a partner. I really don't. I'm very simple when it comes to my needs as far as being in a relationship. First and foremost, do not cause me any problems. Um, what I can't deal with, because A said this earlier, for men, um, going out in society, having to work, going through all these different stereotypes, which we're going to get into that also later, of what a man should be, what a man should be doing, what's expected, having to go out and fight the world day in, day out, and then having to come home and I have to fight with you. I don't need that. Um, I need, for me, 100% peace. If there's not peace in my house, I'm a very, very angry lion. Um, and I get angry fairly easily. If there's not peace. When I feel like there's peace, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm one of the best people to be around. I really am. I'm even with the medication I'm on for my PTSD, my bipolarism, with the depression, anxiety pills, and everything, all that stuff that I'm on. I'm really chilled. I'm really calm. I'm really cool. I nothing really bothers me. But if there's any aspect of my life that's out of order, or I don't feel like there's peace in, it's not it's not a great environment to be in. And I'm the first one to say it. Just because I don't like dealing with stupidity. I just don't. I'm getting like that more and more in my old age, and so I don't like doing it. So when it comes to the person I'm with, I feel like for me, as long as you can hold your own, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about you in the sense that I have to do everything for you. Um, then I'm good. I'm not one of those types that I require attention. But you don't have to be, you know, like all up underneath me and all this other stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't mind it, um, but I don't require it. I just that's just not how I am. And I've honestly I've always been like that. Yeah. I've always been like that. Um, but I mean, it is what it is. When it comes to a lot of other aspects of a relationship, which we'll get to this part later because Des had actually kind of mentioned that when it came for kids. My thing is as long as I'm not, I don't mind being the bad guy, but if I always have to be the bad guy, then I'm gonna be the bad guy for everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that makes sense. It's like I don't mind being the disciplinarian in the house, but if I'm the only one that's gonna be doing it, then everybody's gonna feel that wrath because it seems like every time you turn around, you don't want to have to deal with it. Um, as long as you take care of your finances, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and then when I say that, it's not like, I'm not saying, oh, well, I gotta always bail you out or you gotta always no, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about as long as it's not something to where it's gonna put the house, you know what I'm saying, or anything else in jeopardy. That's the type I'm talking about, as long as we're hanging on your finances and stuff. Other than that, I'm pretty chilled when it comes to relationships. Um, I not too much really bothers me when it comes to a lot of stuff. Other than the main stuff that would bother anybody in a relationship. But other than that, I am by far one of the easiest. I would say probably one of the easiest guys to be with. Now you might say, well, hey, Birdman, I could have sworn one time I heard you say you've been married 4 times. Yes, I have. Okay, I have. Number one, military is not very kind on marriages. For all those aforementioned things I said about me, you got to remember most women are not like that. Most women want to be with their man, constantly. And when you're in the military, you're gone constantly. I have 4 deployments underneath my belt. The training that I was going for, I was gone a lot. And then even when I got back, mentally I was gone. I was never really there. Physically, I may have been there, but I had checked out a long time ago mentally, and it's tough. I know Ace has mentioned something about that as well. It's tough. So like I said, for me, I don't really require a lot. Side note, Ace, please remind me, because I just found this out. Spotify for podcasters kind of screwed us over, and they did away with the feature to where now I can't do commercials. So now I'm gonna have to figure out another way to do that. So please just remind me that I need to work on that sometime this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that way we don't have that problem moving forward. So yeah, they took away that feature. So I don't even know if I'm gonna use them as a sponsor anymore. Anyways, okay. So first of all, how's everybody doing thus far? Going on with this with the show so far. Everybody doing all right? Britt, you good?
Doing good.
Okay, doing good. All right.
Almost like she's back there doing something illegal because she shuts her camera down every time she gets done talking. Doesn't want anybody to see what she's doing.
Randomly vaping, and I don't want it on here.
Well, what was that on your hand? I know.
Hey.
For those who don't know, everybody in this live has a life outside of the podcast. Birdman, right before we started the podcast, was finishing up with schooling. Britt was at work. Oma down there was taking care of her grandbaby. And this one here has a whole flower garden in this room. And me, I worked last night, so I slept until fucking 1 o'clock this afternoon. So don't judge. Birdman, back to you.
Yay. Okay, so now I know I don't have the actual commercials, and I can't pull what I need up over there. So we're just gonna do this. We are gonna take a quick commercial break, kind of. But I am going to say that the Birdman Show is brought to you by W Energy Drinks. W is an energy drink that you can mix at home. W is formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formulas contain vitamins, amino acids, neurotropics, including the patented neural factor. No calories, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors. So if you need something to give you the energy to take on the world, W Energy is what you need. Go to w.gg. That's DUBBY.GG. Use promo code Birdman Show for 10% off your orders, and tell them the Birdman sent you. Okay, so
now just to clarify, was that W.GGG?
No, just 2 G's. Did I say 3 G's?
Well, you kind of stuttered on the first one.
Right,
I'm just giving shit. Kind of like the pretty from Brit earlier.
Yeah. Pretty. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
It's
okay.
Type of bird call. He's got the brr, brr. I get the pretty.
What are you, a pager?
Sorry.
I
That sounded more like a fucking ringtone, not a bird call.
It sound like a two-way, man. What? Hit me on my two-way. God.
Pretty bird, pretty bird.
Oh my Lord, jeez. Anyways, moving forward. Okay, so going along with what we were talking about, what you're looking for with a partner. Okay, here's one that I think a lot of us sometimes kind of just skip over. I think this goes along with a lot of what kind of goes on in society today, because then you get with somebody and then you're saying, "Oh my God, he or she they were just not the person I thought I knew." You didn't know them, and that goes along with what this question is. What are some red flags to you when it comes to a relationship and when you're looking for somebody? And when I say this, like I said, try to answer it the best way you can. I know a lot of a few of us might say some things, but then we're like, crap, you know, whatever. Just try to answer the best you can when it comes to this. And once again, like I said, just answer it, as if somebody was coming up to you, asking you as a single friend, one single friend to another. Brittanya,
Irsh.
we're gonna start with you.
So red flags.
Yes, not Six Flags, red flags.
Oh, there could be so many different things because I pick up. Well, I believe
It'd be nice if we could see you.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
I don't know. I think that I pick up on a lot of nonverbal cues. I know that's not very specific, but I mean it could be so many different things. But like if I don't know, you tell me one thing and then later you go back and it's different, like the deception part type deal. Oof. Like if you don't meet anybody else from that person, like I understand some people don't have family, some people have very few friends, but I don't know, like there could be so many things. I guess it just depends on the situation.
Hmm. So, in other words, you just danced around the question. You didn't really answer the question. Got it.
Maybe in my own little way.
You did that. You did Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for nothing. Anyways,
there wasn't much buzzing going on there.
I'm playing with you, Britt.
Very.
God
I
almighty.
mean, it was a small bee.
Okay, small b. Okay, so it was a gnat, basically. Okay. All right. Des, let's go with you. Hopefully, your answer is actually an answer.
Okay, so before I answer that, I have a quick question. So you said answer it as if it's a single friend talking to another single friend. So are you talking about like, are you talking about when you first get into a relationship, what red flags would be, or are you asking like things that you should ask your single friend that's asking you?
I mean, you can look at it both ways, honestly. If it's a conversation where somebody's saying, "Hey, what kind of red flag should I be looking for?" Da da da. Or if it's like, what, it's you're just having a conversation, sitting there at lunch, eating, I don't know, a salad, drinking tea. I don't freaking know. But if you're sitting there,
Okay.
just having a conversation, and all of a sudden you guys start talking about relationships, you're like, what are some of your red flags? And then you just start saying, "Hey, these are things that I kind of look for," or sometimes, my spidey senses go off. That's what I'm asking right there.
Okay, so for me, one of the biggest ones is somebody who, like, if you're just getting to know somebody and they're constantly on their phone when they're with you, but when you're separated and they don't talk to you or anything, is kind of a red flag. Sorry, there's a bug. Um,
I got them too.
yeah, they're awful this time of year. Or somebody like Britt said, where if they, if you're getting in a relationship, I'm not saying that you have to like do this right off the bat, but if you're, 6 months in and they haven't introduced you to any friends, any family, they don't talk about, friends, family, nothing like that. That's a red flag because it's like a secret double life, I guess you could say, because that's what happens in most cases. Um, and some of y'all may look at me weird, but my biggest red flag is somebody who does not respect their mother. Because if they do not respect their own mother, then they are not going to respect you.
Okay.
Hope that answers your question better than Britt.
It did, definitely better than Brett's.
Okay.
The last one, though, it kind of goes back to what I kind of said to Carrie when it came to the whole single mother thing and a single parent thing. Um, I agree. Though I agree with what you said. It also depends on how that in that situation, how that other person's mother's carrying themselves too. Because sometimes a lot of the reason why they don't respect their mother is because their mother doesn't command respect. So how can you respect somebody who doesn't honestly in the begin with respect themselves? I think there's a lot of that is going on in today's society now. Unfortunately, you get these single mothers, and like I said, I don't have to worry about talking to you lovely ladies when it comes to anything like that because I've already made the distinction between a single mother and a single parent. So I'm gonna talk to you single mothers. The reason why your child is the way they are is because you don't respect yourself. So if you can't, you don't respect yourself, so you can't teach respect. You can't teach discipline. You can't really teach or really bring any value to that child. So therefore, that child grows up with no discipline, not knowing how to respect, not being, I hate saying it, but really being in a position to be a productive member of society. They become these leeches that we have that are in society now. They become these weak men that we have, these over dominant women that we have who think they're men, and then wonder why they can't get a man, and then complain about not getting a man. So they have to settle for these little boys who are not men because they never had a real man in their life. So that I like I said, I definitely agree with what you said, Des. That's 100%. You're 100%. I definitely agree with that. But then we also have to look at the hidden cause of that. Like I said, if that hits you, slaps you upside the head, you a single mother. If it's not bothering you doing what you're supposed to do, you a single parent. There's a difference. Okay. Let's see. Britt, have we gone? I mean, not Britt. Mama Bear, have we gone to you yet? Well, take it away, Mama Bear.
First, I have to say I have much respect for my mom. Just she demands too much of it. But I just had to sit there and put a smile on y'all's face. Anyway, my red flags. The first thing is visual with me, and that's actually quite a bit of it. Smile. I pay attention to your smile. If it's fake, then a lot about you has got to be fake. And I know that's kind of assuming, and you know what to assume to do is to make an ass out of you and me, but I've experienced enough to understand the difference between fake and genuine. Um, I see how you treat others, especially your family. And your family doesn't have to end in blood. I mean, it can be the family that you choose. But if you don't even know how to treat somebody in your family and they're the closest ones to you, then how would you know how to treat somebody that you want to be part of your life forever as in a partner? you know. And a big red flag for me is also I love animals. And if my animals retract from you and are aggressive towards you, then you're not a good person to me.
Well, first of all, ma'am, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off. First of all, your animals, they retract from everybody. Okay? So that's not even fair. All right?
No, not everybody. They do love y'all.
Oh, bull crap. I beg to differ on that one.
They love you when you give them treats.
Only when we give him treats. Other than that, it's no.
Hey, they're willing to accept treats from you, but if they're aggressive towards you and don't accept any treats from you, then yeah, there's something wrong with you.
All right.
So,
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Another
I'm sorry,
big
go ahead.
thing, another big thing is like Desi was saying, when you're on your phone too much and not communicating with me when it comes to what's going on, then and then when you're not in front of me, then you're not even hardly on it unless you get a message, which happens to be a lot, but you still don't get to it because you're at work or something. It's a different story, but communication is a big key in a lot of things. If you don't sit there and talk about it, then that means you're hiding. When you're hiding something, you're lying, and I don't like liars. So that's a bunch of red flags for me.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Brett, take notes. Two excellent answers, except for Brett's. I'm just playing. Oh, you got something to say, Brett? Put your dirty hands down.
No.
Pretty.
Pretty.
She a parrot now?
What was I gonna say? Oh, can I add on to my non-existent answer before?
Oh, now you want to add on to some
It's-
non-existent. Go ahead. I'm playing.
Gas.
So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to piggyback on what the other two said, and then you're going to come up with an answer of your own that is different from what they said, but still okay. Go ahead.
Gaslighting. That's a huge red flag. If you're trying to control my perception of what I know is going on, big red flag.
Expound on that a little bit more. Expound on that a little bit more.
How so? Because it can go many ways.
Well, you started off with a very good point there. So you pick a way and go with it.
Oh my gosh.
What we're not going to do here, ma'am, here's what we're not going to do. This is not the recap. This is not something else. This is a show where we want to hear your opinion on these freaking questions, okay? Because someone out there is going to vibe with what you're saying. So if you're going to deprive that person of getting better in themselves and in a relationship, ma'am, you and I are going to have a problem.
They're not vibing with very much right now.
They're cha-cha-chaing because that's what she's doing around the questions.
I didn't
Pretty.
one thing, and that was gaslighting. You're asking me to expand on it, and like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to concentrate on, I guess, just that, one thing that I can tell you. Just like I said, like controlling the narrative. If I know, something is going on and you try and like lie your way out of it.
Okay.
Which is exactly what it is.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. We'll take it. I'll take it this time. Next time, though. Ace.
I only have a couple of red flags. I'm not going to piggyback off of what any of the girls said, because all of theirs, with the exception of Britt's, were pretty good answers. Love you, Britt. I just you say gaslighting and then you can't follow up with it. Come on. Mine.
Burritos.
I guess the two that I'm going to focus on is, in this day and age, 90% of dating is done online anymore. And if you find somebody that you want to, are you muted?
Who?
Okay. I thought I was hearing an echo. If you find somebody that you want to get to know more about, and they aren't willing to video chat with you, to me, that is a red flag. Or, like, I knew I should have went with the other one first. You know it's going to happen at least once a fucking episode.
I think your minimum is 5.
Oh, if you notice them trying to change you, making you like be one person, like they're okay with you behind closed doors, being the way that you are, but if you go out in public and they get embarrassed with the way that you act or the way that you are, and they tell you to act appropriate, this is me. I'm me. If I'm appropriate enough for you behind closed doors, then you need to accept who I am in public. And I just wanted to comment on a message that was put over here in chat. This isn't TikTok. They don't have to shut their screens down whenever they're smoking. If they want to vape on screen, they can. YouTube's not going to shut us down. They just do it out of respect.
And we're not on Facebook either. So
right. So I mean, noticing that somebody had smoke coming out of their mouth, that's great. Just, they don't have to shut down to do it. That's all I've got.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Tabby, I'm with Birdman. I agree with that as well.
Yeah, and this is the comment we're talking about for those who didn't see it. So if you catch them in a lie and they then try to turn that back on you, that's 100% one of the first. Well, I'm gonna say one of the first times, but that is a big sign of a narcissist. And there's a lot. I think there's a lot more of them running around than there had been before. Yes, Mama Bear.
I was gonna say that's them being fake.
That's
what I see as being fake. Because if you're not willing to accept fault for yourself and do something to fix it, you're just rather turn it and twist it to where it's your fault, then yeah, that's being fake.
I agree. My list is not so extensive as everybody else's. My list actually really boils down to just two things. Respect and being trustworthy. Those are the two big things for me. And when I say that, now when I say this, not so that list is not so big, it's like a tree and it branches off. So you got the branches and then you got the roots that go all over the place. Those two things, there's a lot that goes with those two things, especially when it comes to me. But I can draw from some of the things that everybody said, like the phone thing, is a huge issue for me. Mainly because I still grew up in the era where, cell phones and all these other devices were not prominent. So if you wanted to talk to somebody, you walked up to them and you had a face-to-face conversation. Young enough but old enough to also have, experience the whole actual true clubbing thing, where we never had to worry about the fights. We didn't have to worry about all this other stuff. You went to the club, you went to the bar, or whatever, and you sit there and you had a conversation with the female, or a female had a conversation with a dude, and there wasn't anything that was okay. We'll bring that up here in a sec, Mom Bear. But we never had to worry about this stuff. There was none of that issue. You actually had to go and have a face-to-face conversation with someone. We lost Mom Bear. But you had to have
I think she just hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Oh,
she's coming back in.
Yeah, she tried to back out of the chat. Probably hit the wrong button. No problem. It happens. Trust me. It's a new platform. It's your first time on it. Just trying to learn it. It's all good. But yeah, you had to have these conversations. The problem is with these phones and all these devices. It's like I've said many times before when it comes to relationships and just anything in general when it comes to today's society. This is a microwave society. Everybody wants it instant. Everybody wants it right there at their fingertips. No one wants to really work. Why do you think there's so many more women that are growing up, that are coming up, that can't cook, can't clean, can't take care of a house? Because it was made so that way they didn't have to do that. Well, I'm not gonna say I have to, because a lot of these single mothers have gotten away from actually doing their job and teaching their young ladies, their daughters. And that's the thing that always got me, is that when you're raising children, like I have 2 daughters and I have a son. You don't raise them. You're not raising a son. You're not raising a daughter. You're raising a man. You're raising a woman. You're raising a husband. You're raising a wife. If they can't do any of those basic duties as a husband or wife, sorry, love you. You're useless in that traditional sense. Why do you think you got so many? Why do you think you got so many more women that are basically filling the man's role? That you got women that can change a tire, work on cars. This is not coming to you, Britt. you got all these women that can do all these things, a lot of things that men can do, but can't do what a woman can do. But then on the flip side, you got all these things that men can do that a woman's supposed to do, but they can't do what a man's supposed to do. You see how things are flip-flopped? And that 100% always goes back to how they're raised. You want a punk for a son? Raise one punk. Don't have him do anything that requires him to be actually be a man. You want your daughter to be, to the point where she's, I don't like using the term butch. I don't like using it. But just, I guess, more manly. Then don't require her to do any of the stuff that will require her to be a girlfriend, a wife, a mother. Don't have her do any of this stuff if that's what you want. But don't become wondering why, or question your child, your son or daughter. Why aren't you married yet? Why don't you have anybody? What did you raise? Who wants that? But my red flags, like I said, it's very simple: the respect and the trust thing. Because if I can't trust you, I have no respect for you. If I have no respect for you, I have no need for you. So I keep it very simple. I keep my list very simple. I keep it very short, because I have gotten to the point in my life, I don't want or need people in my life that are not going to enhance my life, if that makes sense. We do a lot of that as a society, as people. I can say that I used to in my life. I'm not speaking for nobody else. In my life, I used to have people around me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we hang out, and I found out that even in crowds, I felt alone. Why? Because of the quality of the people. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. And so therefore, like I said, I keep my list short, my red flags short. And my red flags, honestly, when it comes to other things, it's case by case. And I think a lot of times what we do is we walk into a relationship and we have a certain set of red flags in mind. And therefore we miss the actual red flags of the person that we're with. because you're thinking about one set of red flags, but you completely missed the other set that's going on. And that kind of goes along with what like what we just said, or I was just saying, Carrie had made a comment in the private chat, and she said, also a big red flag is if you're physical, as in lay hands in an aggressive manner. And I'm gonna ask you women this question. You don't have to go into any detail whatsoever. When you talk about past relationships, you don't have to go into any detail whatsoever.
Can I say something before you ask this question?
No. Anyways,
I don't care. No, this is a battle. It's a battle, correct?
Yes, and you just lost.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. No. Shut your face. Listen. Okay. You said it is all about how you raise your kids. I disagree with that.
Okay, how's that?
Because you can have people who raise their kids the way that they're supposed to be raised, and then they do bad on their own. They make their own bad decisions.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
So it's not just about how you raise them.
That part, like I said, I agree with what you're saying. However, once again, I grew up in the household I grew up in. Okay. And the thing is that I went out on my own and I did bad on my own. But once I got my head straight, I reverted back to how I was raised and got myself straight. So that's the difference, is that people will sit there and I'm gonna talk to you for a second. They're gonna sit there and they'll make that argument or that excuse of saying that, well, I tried my best, this and that, but they got out and they went on their own, they did their own thing. That's gonna happen. We're growing as adult. We're growing into being an adulthood. Now we're away from our home where we had that protection, where we had that discipline, where we had that respect that you were supposed to be given. You had all that at home. When you got out, you're going to make your own decisions. That's a given. And you're going to make some bad decisions. But when you get done making bad decisions, if you don't have that base teaching and you were not raised properly, that's going to always show. What's going to show at the end is if you've had that type of teaching, if you've had that type of upbringing, if you've had that type of discipline in your life, that's going to always come back. Hopefully, for a lot of cases, it comes back sooner than later. And those kids are growing into adults, don't make the mistake, and then they don't have the rest of their life to correct it. That's where the problem is that we've got to stop making excuses for stuff we weren't doing or we should have been doing all along. And even if you haven't done it all along, you have got to, at some point in time, draw that sand in the line, draw that line in the sand and say, enough is enough. Yes, I screwed up as a parent. Yes, I screwed up as a husband. Yes, I screwed up as a wife. But you know what? I acknowledge my mistakes. And I'm telling you right now, it's not happening anymore. I'm not making any more excuses. I'm not putting it off on anybody else. I made the mistake. I'm going to correct the mistake. Plain and simple. Until that happens as a society, we are, if you believe in the Bible, whatever you want to believe in, however you want to put it, we're going to hell. This whole freaking thing, like this, I love America. I do. I serve my country. I do. I love you guys. I love you. But I'm telling you right now, if I can get my money straight, I'm leaving. Because this crap right here, with what I see, and then people wonder why, hey, why don't I ever see you out doing anything? I don't want to come out there and deal with you fools. Are you crazy? Yeah, I appreciate that. But the thing is, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, and that's a great point. There's a great point. Great freaking point. That's a great freaking point. And like I said, I agree with what you said. But the problem is like I said, if the base of it's not there, it's like building a house. If you decide to build your house with no foundation and you're building on the beach, what's going to happen to that?
That's where I was going to take that. If you don't have that foundation to start off with, then you don't have a chance in hell of making it through society. You have to have that foundation whenever you're younger. Whether it's a good foundation or a bad foundation, you're not going to find out until you're out of the house. because if you get out of the house and you never have a single stumble in your entire life, then you never know whether or not you had a good foundation or a bad foundation. It's the ones who do make the mistakes, the ones that do have to learn from those mistakes, pick themselves up by the bootstraps and change their life, are the ones that you're going to find out what kind of upbringing they had. Because if they had a shitty upbringing, then the chances of them being able to turn their life around is going to be slim to none. And if they do, it's going to be sheer willpower. It's going to be the fact that they want a better life for themselves. And if it's the ones that had a good upbringing, then basically all they're doing is going back to the roots. And what word are you talking about?
Oh, I know. I trust me. I'm already on it. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to talk about this. Because once again, you can't take stuff like this personally or to heart. If it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. The problem is that there's too many of this right here is one of the things that is a huge problem in today's society, is that you get men and women who have a different way of thinking, which is fine. Nothing wrong with it. But the problem is, what are you seeing? You're seeing more of the men and more of the women that are thinking like this about the traditional roles of a family. That's what I'm talking about. You can't take it as if I'm attacking a woman or a man for not doing what they're supposed to be doing, this and that. It depends on what you want in life. That's 100%. And the thing is you're seeing the more the fact that there are more women that want the traditional role. They want the man to go out and to work. They want to stay at home and be a housewife. But how can you be a housewife if you don't know how to do any of the stuff that you're supposed to do in that role? It's all about roles, Carrie. Once again, not listening to the conversation. Love you, but you're not listening. This is about roles. If that's the role you want as a woman and you can't fill that role, you're not gonna get the job. It's just like applying for a job. I'm going to school right now for cybersecurity and IT work. If I don't have all the certifications I need to get that job, I'm not getting that job. They don't want me because I can't do the job. If some of these women, like I said, I'm really kind of gearing this towards a lot more towards of what is being shown on social media. A lot of stuff you're seeing on TikTok, a lot of stuff you're seeing on YouTube, a lot of stuff you're seeing on Twitter. With all this stuff, this is where a lot of this is coming from. This is why this is the battle of sexes, because a lot of people, like we all know, us here in this group, and even some of the people that are in the chat on YouTube,
Birdman.
We all know good and well. Number one, none of us.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Curveball.
Go for it.
Okay.
What?
Keep going. I'm going to throw you a curveball.
Okay. All right. Like I said, most of us already know that this is not something, number one, that we really, it affects us. It doesn't. Because most of us are with a partner that, and I am bringing this back to the actual relationship part. Most of us are with a partner where this is not an issue. Okay. Like Des does not have to do all the cooking in the house. So I've got her mom here. No, I'm playing. It's a joke. But Des does not have to do all the cooking in the house. I cook. I can get in the kitchen and cook. I can grill. I can do a lot of stuff. I can clean. I do laundry. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be the one out there doing all the yard work. Des gets out there and cuts grass. She weed eats. You know what I'm saying? Des goes out there and works on cars as well. This is not an issue in our relationship. So therefore, we don't fit that type of traditional role because each of us can do each role equally. That's not the thing. That's not what's common in today's society anymore. You've got one or the other that's doing either one role, both roles, or neither one of them are doing anything. That's where the problem is. And like you said, you say I keep throwing that around all the time, and this is that. You're thinking about yourself. You're in your head. You are in your world. You're not addressing what actually is going on with most of these people that are actually talking about this stuff. This does not fit you. Like I said earlier, if it's something that hits you, take it for what it is. If it's not something that hits you, let it roll off your back like a duck with water and keep on swimming. Okay? I mean, I can't make it any more plain than that. Like I said, Carrie, you already know I love you. And I know I already knew you. I was hoping you would come in and say that. I was really hoping you come in and say that, because we did have this discussion the last time this was brought up. And I think it was a live, wasn't it? On TikTok, wasn't it? Or it might have been a production meeting. I don't, huh?
It wasn't a production meeting. It was a live.
Okay, so it was live. And I knew she was gonna bring that. And I was so hoping she would bring that up, because number one, this is why I said in the beginning, don't let any of this stuff don't let your head get in the way of what the actual conversation is. And I said that kind of according towards the people that are here in the group. But at the same time, it was really kind of geared towards the people who are listening too. If it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those things that
check your fucking messenger.
Do what?
Telling Carrie to check her fucking messenger.
Oh, Fury Storm. But yeah, no, yeah, like I said, that this is why this is a good discussion. It's because I don't want people, I'm not worried about us, I'm saying, those, even Carrie, I'm not worried about her as far as, what she's thinking or whatever there. And I said, I'm not worried about it. It's like, I know it's not gonna be something that's going to affect anything else. But what I don't want is anybody else to think, okay, I'm just going to think about my situation, how I would want things. This is not about you. It's not about me. It's not about Ace. It's not about Brittany. It's not about Dez. It's not about Mama Bear. This is about what are some of the issues that are going on. And this is a huge issue. You got women who want these, what they're calling now high value men. And these high value men are wanting women who represent a traditional role in a relationship. And the problem is vast majority of women do not fit a traditional role in a relationship anymore. Because number one, they don't even know what the traditional role is. That's number one. They don't understand that. Number two, they're wanting all these perks without actually doing anything to earn them. I'm just gonna say it. It is what it is. Anybody want to rebuttal that? Anybody? Britt, you all right? Brittany?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I was like, good God. Whew. I thought I was gonna do a freaking wellness check over there. Whew. Okay. No, but seriously, I mean, like, seriously, does anybody have anything they want to, like, add, take away, whatever? Nothing? Nobody? Nothing? Des over there having a stroke.
I completely.
She having a conniption fit down there. Them gnats are getting the best of.
It's like, what?
Dude, they over here whooping my ass.
Yeah, these gnats are undefeated.
No, I think I'm not going to rebuttal anything for that. However, I will say, and a lot of that, as it's been brought up before, also goes, like, the women with the traditional stuff, also goes back to, like you had stated before, how they were raised. Like my mama, or Ace and I's mama, when she raised us, she taught us both roles. Because the way we were brought up was, I learned how to work on cars. Brian and Michael learned how to take home ec, because in my mama's mind, she didn't want them to rely on a female to do the cooking and cleaning for them, and she didn't want me to rely on a man to fix my car.
He cooks.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. That's because that's how he was raised that way. He was raised to learn how to cook and clean, to where he didn't have to depend on a woman to do that part of the aspect for him.
I was
Just
just
as I was
asking as a
raised to
joke.
be able. What?
I was just asking as a joke. I was like, he cooks,
Oh, he does when he feels like it, which isn't very often. But
right?
you know,
Sorry.
and I was raised to learn how to do work on cars because my mama didn't want me to ever have to depend on a man to work on my car.
No,
That's all.
honestly, that's how it should be. I honestly, I 100% believe, what I'm saying, whether it's a single parent house, whether it's a two-parent house, whatever the situation is, you should be teaching your children how to do both roles. Not because you're saying, oh, for my daughter, I don't want you to have, I don't want you cooking or cleaning and doing all this stuff. You need to be a, what they like to say now, boss chick, and you need to go out and do this, and that. Or you're saying to your son, hey son, what I'm saying, you need to find yourself a girl that's gonna be able to pay for all this. Da. No, I'm not saying that. It is good because you know what? There's gonna come a time in your life where you just are not gonna want to be with anybody. You're gonna say, because you done been through too much, you done had too much pain, too much hurt, whether it's a messed up relationship or whether you just the world has just tacked you so much that you just like, I just don't want to be with anybody. What sense does it make for you to only know how to do one role? And now you're having to rely on somebody else, or you're like some of these people that, they're eating takeout all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or they're having like, I know how to take care of a house. I can cook, I can clean, I can take care of finances, I can make sure my vehicles are up and running, good to go. Children here, I can make sure they're up, they got what they need, they can I can feed them, teach them what they need to be taught, and keep it moving. I don't need a woman for that or for validation. Just like no woman needs a man for validation. You don't. If you don't need anyone to validate who you are. But a lot of problem is, Ace, correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of problem is there's a lot of people out there walking around that don't even know who they are. Men and women.
Facts.
And therefore they make these excuses about needing a man or needing a woman, or the fact that, well, I don't want to be in this type of traditional role because I don't want that to define me, or that that I'm fitting into the what society wants. Why are you overthinking it so much? Why can't we just get back to what's right? Doing the right freaking thing. Why can't we do that as men and women? Why does it have to be a fight all the time? Like, seriously, why can't, what I'm saying, you come to me, tell me your point of view, your opinion, and I accept that. I agree with it. And I might say, hey, well, okay, that's cool. Here's how I view it. Da, 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 da. Why can't we just have that conversation and it not be a fight? I'm just throwing that out there. And the reason why, and I think we said this in the Real Talk discussion. I'm gonna ask this question. We're gonna go around the room. All I want is a yes or a no. Okay, I don't want any explanation right now. I just want a simple yes or no. Okay, Mama Bear.
Yo.
Shut up. I said Mama Bear. Anyways, do you believe that women are more emotional and men are more logical?
This day and age, yes.
You said what?
This day and age, yes.
Okay. Britt, same question.
Yes.
Okay. That was so dramatic. Des, same question.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Ace.
I honestly can't
Yes
answer
or no?
that question. I can't
Yes or no?
answer it because it could go either way.
That-
If you're saying just across the board, then I'm going to say yes.
That's all I'm asking. Okay. I too say yes, but I also agree with you, Ace. The reason why I say that as a whole, that's how it is. Now, that doesn't mean every single woman is emotional, every single man is logical. Those roles are flip-flopped. And that's what the problem is. A lot of these roles are flip-flopped. A lot of roles, a lot of things have gotten flip-flopped and out of order. Once again, like I just said, a lot of this stuff is flip-flopped. There are a lot more men that are emotional, and there are a lot more women that are logical. Now, when I say that, the problem with that is even the women that are logical are still emotional. The reason why I say that is because, case in point, you can say something to a woman. She might she might think about it logically, but she might also give you an emotional answer. The difference between, and I'm gonna say most men that or that are may have had that ability or had that opportunity to be around an older man or someone that could help them with navigate that stuff. And listen, I hate saying this a lot of times because I think there's a lot of single parents out there, and like I said, I don't distinguish between I do distinguish between single mothers and single parents. You know what I'm saying? When I say single parent, you can be a man or a woman. Single mothers are struggling.
All right, she got you there.
No. Once again,
I will say she got you there.
And once again, I mean, I appreciate that because the thing is, you prove my point. I love you, but you do prove my point. Here's the difference. I don't get emotional. I don't care what the situation is. I don't get emotional. Now, people might confuse me raising my voice, you know what I'm saying, or some of the hand gestures and that, or, oh, he's emotional. No, that's me being passionate. It's very different field of that. I don't get emotional. Therefore, and nor do I let someone's comments or someone's opinion make it feel like a personal attack against me. Because it's not. Why? It's your opinion. At the end of the day, I really don't care about your opinion. It's your opinion. Just like you shouldn't really care about my opinion because it's my opinion. I don't care when it comes to a lot of that stuff. It doesn't bother me. Therefore, I don't get emotional. I listen to the question or the comment and I make a logical response. Never emotional, never personal. You can tell, you can. Yes, there is passion in emotion. Yes, no, but you're 100% wrong. Because passion, you don't get butthurt about it. You don't take it personally when it comes to stuff. You only get like that when you're emotional. 100%. I don't care who you are, man or woman. If you're getting all upset about something, you're emotional.
Are you sure you two ain't brother and sister?
Oh, we definitely brothers and sisters. 100%. No, I'm not a robot. But I also know I'm not stupid as far as letting my emotions get me to a point where I make a stupid mistake or say something that I can never take back. Think about a lot of arguments you've gotten into. Think about everything that's happened that something's gone sideways, all because you got too emotional, you made a comment, and now you couldn't go back from it. Or you did something that you can't take back. The one thing I try to teach my son, the one thing I try to teach even my basketball players that I coach, and I definitely try to teach my soldiers when I was in the military, never get emotional. You think everything through. Because if you make an action, you do something, you say something, you can never change it. Think about any time as a man or a woman, if you get so emotional, you get so heated, you get into an argument that turns into a pushing match. That person falls, and this has happened. This is a true story. I mean, not to me, but you push somebody, they fall, bust their head, they die. That's 100%. You can 100% go to jail for manslaughter. I just got emotional. I got heated. The argument got heated. I didn't know what. It doesn't matter. You killed someone. Why? Because you couldn't keep your emotions in check. You're so all off the rails, you couldn't keep yourself in check. You couldn't shut your mouth. You couldn't keep your hands to yourself. Think about how many and I don't know, Ace, maybe you can help me with this. I know Des has seen this before too. I think all of us have seen this before in our life. How many times we've been somewhere, someone's talking, it's a regular conversation, all of a sudden it gets heated, and then next thing you know, it breaks out into a fight. Why? Not because they're passionate. Because them idiots were emotional. Men or women, doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. It's not that part is not gender specific. It's 100% the fact that you can't keep yourself in check. 100%. See, I am able to keep myself in check. And there's a lot of people like me, men and women. Does that help you out, Carrie? I said men and women. Freak out of here. No, I love you. But what I'm saying is that can never be, you should never let that be such a defining fact. Okay, like I said, when it comes to this stuff like we're talking about, it's not so much I'm talking about in generality when it comes to a lot of this stuff. It's the fact that all this stuff is case by case. But like I said, when it came, like when Des made a comment about the raising children and them going out and doing their own thing, it comes from somewhere. Whether you're taught from your parents, or whether, unfortunately, like some, and I've seen with some of my lady friends here, sometimes it comes from relationships. Sometimes we start getting this persona or this mindset because it was something that happened within a relationship. So therefore, we try not to go back to certain things. We try not to do or remove in a certain way. And once again, that's 100%. That's your prerogative. That's your life. That's what you have to live. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that is negative, I 100% feel for you. And I hope to God you never go through that or anybody else goes through that. I don't want that crap. But it's one of those things, you got to remember something. These questions, like I said, and I don't know if Carrie was in here at the beginning. These questions we're asking is if someone else is coming and asking you these questions. So if someone else is coming to ask you this question about red flags, or even this whole thing about traditional roles and all this stuff that we just got off on, if they're coming to ask you about this, if someone's coming to ask me about some stuff like this, I am not putting my personal self into it. I'm not. Because if I put my personal self into it, my personal comments into it, what's going to happen is, if I do have past trauma, if I do have past hurt, if I have past memories of stuff that happened in a relationship, I can end up giving that person some really bad advice, because you're talking to them about your personal experience, and you have no idea about the person they're asking you about. That person may not even remotely fit what you're talking about. And now you just ruined that person because you couldn't keep yourself and your emotions in check. That's like the biggest thing there. Ace, what you got going on with that? I thought I seen your finger up or hand up or something.
Nope, not me.
Okay. Everybody else good?
I'm good.
Yeah. Well, you got, yeah. I only get like that when I actually have to. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this one last question. Last question. Okay. Now this was, it's kind of a two-parter. I don't know, Ace. Do you think?
Let's keep the second part out, because that could, just the first part of that question could go on and on. If you add the second part of that question into it, then I mean we're talking probably another hour or so before we finish that conversation.
How about this? How about we not ask that question? Okay. Let's go to this real quick. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're gonna give Mom her 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. So Mama Joe had said, if you were born in the 50s, and and she's talking about the 1950s, not the 1850s. But if you're born in the 1950s, this is nothing like what women or men dealt with. A woman's place was in the home unless you worked department stores, nursing, or teachers. She then goes on to say, women stayed home and took care of the house and babies and raised them. Okay, who wants to tackle the first part of that?
I guess it's a good thing we're not in the 50s anymore, Mama. I would like to say that World War II. World War II changed all of this. The world had to evolve. Women, what the fuck are you laughing at? Our mother? Yes.
She out there just cackling.
But I mean, the world had to evolve. All the men were overseas at war, and in order to keep everything running in the States, women had to leave their homes. So, I mean, once they got a taste of what it's like to be in the workforce, whenever the men came back, they wanted equality. So, I mean, everything's been changed since then. So, I mean, a woman's place is no longer in the kitchen barefoot, pregnant, and yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a circle of life. It something had to change, or we would have completely been a broken country.
I agree, but as well as I would like to think that keeping the traditions alive in some aspect, whether they're directed towards one gender or another, but I agree completely.
Brett, you have anything?
No, I'm pretty much on the same page as you.
Where'd Des go? Oh, she probably went to go deal with the grandbaby. Yeah, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna answer that question. Okay. I'm not gonna answer that question. Instead, what I'm gonna do is this. Because I've got to mess with Carrie one more last time before we end this podcast. Yes, it's called a crime of passion. Yes, and you're like, oh, because that you think that validates your response or your point of view, but it honestly doesn't. What are they going to call it? A crime of emotion? That's number one. Number two, definition of a crime of passion is a defense used by an individual who committed a crime as a direct result of an event triggering heartbreak or rage. What does heartbreak usually deal with? Emotions. Once again, it goes back to emotions. The crime of passion is typically has something to do with emotions, the heart. Okay, which then leads into rage. It's because I think they said yes, a crime of passion is a crime committed by someone who so quickly that I don't know why they just put it on he doesn't have time to cool down or stop himself. His emotions have gotten so out of control that he couldn't calm himself down. I still find that hilarious because it's always referred to he. But where's your point on that? Are you saying that, according to this, they're saying women can't have crimes of passion? Interesting. Listen, there's been a lot in this one. Okay. And like I said beforehand, like I said, especially if you weren't in here at the beginning of this podcast episode, like I asked my co-host, take yourself out of the equation. These are questions or topics that someone else is coming to ask you. And the reason why I wanted all of us to do that is simply because of the simple fact is any of us can bring our personal freaking opinions or hurt or past trauma into any question that is being asked. But that's where I think a lot of the problem is going on with society today. Is that instead of talking to someone from point of view where they're at, and dealing with their issue, we tend to talk about our issues, and we try to put a spin on it as if we're giving them advice. We're not giving them advice. We're just giving them our story. Anytime something like this comes up or anybody does anything like that, it just you got to be careful about that. I mean, do you really want to keep furthering my point, Carrie? Because the main word in that is emotion. Seriously? Like, seriously? Anyways. Oh God, I love my little sister. But yeah, okay. So yeah, like I said, it's fun. It was fun. It was crazy. Mama Bear, what do you have to say to the good peoples? And I'm about 4 minutes ahead because I mean, I keep forgetting that I actually start 10 minutes prior, because we run the countdown and everything. So I'm thinking we're over, and we're actually 4 minutes ahead. So let's go ahead. Mom, what do you have to tell the good people?
You've done a great job in this battle. It was definitely a great sitcom. I'm joking. There's a lot to learn, and if people would just pay attention to the whole situation and not just what they can pick and choose out of it, then, and no, Carrie, this is not directed at you. If they would just pay attention to the whole situation and not just pick and choose little bits and pieces, that causes crime of emotions. Then then this world would be a lot better place.
All right, I agree. Crime of emotions. Yeah, I'm gonna have to coin that. Yes, and I did say I am passionate. I am passionate. Don't get that twisted. But I'm not so passionate to the point where I would even with being passionate, I'm not to the point where I would allow that for me to make a dumb mistake that I cannot take back, or even say anything that I can't take back. So it's still, I mean, like I said, that's me. I'm not saying that I wasn't like when I said that it was 100% me. That wasn't anything about you, Ace, Britt, Dez, Mama Bear, or anybody else. That was 100% me. I'm starting to wonder the way you carrying on, though. You need a hug, sis? We got you. Anyways, Britannia, Encyclopedia Britannia.
There was a lot of good points that were said today. Hopefully that can help someone.
Question is, Britt, did it help you?
Pretty.
How are you? Honestly, I'm asking this question. Honestly, Britt, how are you feeling?
I'm good.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we don't need to talk offline?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. I know. You're a trooper. I salute thee. Desiree. Paige and Desiree. Oh, let the baby speak.
Stop. Quit trying to report people on the YouTube chat. Stop it. Look. Hey, look over here.
TT.
She can't hear you. I have my earbud in.
Hey, mama.
Here, give this to Oma for a minute. There, now you can hear him.
Hey, Oma. Hey, I mean, Oma. Hey, baby. What you doing? You gonna say hi? Say hi. There it is. Mwah. Mwah.
I mean, I guess the only thing that I have to say is that it was not much of a battle. It was more of a Tim soapbox, but
No, it was not.
it was too.
No,
Guarantee you go back and watch it, and I guarantee you, just because you're the host, don't mean anything. You talked way more than anybody else ever did. See?
Because I felt personally attacked.
Because you were on your soapbox. Because you got emotional.
Yeah, so it was. I got emotional. I apologize.
No, I really don't have anything. I hope that, you know, what little bit that we were actually able to discuss, stop reporting people. Actually, like Brittany said, what actually we did get discussed, I hope helped somebody. Apparently not this child, so.
And all I have to say is immediately following the Birdman Show.
We'll get to that.
It's 8:00, fucker.
I know. I just real quick, Mama Joe. Like, is this a definition you looked up, or is this your personal opinion? You can leave it in the comment or whatever. And then there was that one. Okay, Ace, what are your closing remarks?
I don't have any closing remarks. Immediately following the Birdman Show over on TikTok, you two, I swear, over on TikTok, I go live from 8 to 10. Looks like it's going to be a little bit longer again tonight.
Sorry,
but we do trivia nights on TikTok immediately following the podcast. So come join us over there for a wholesome good time.
I don't know how wholesome it is. But yeah,
Tyler Perry for the win.
over there. It is fun. It is a lot of fun.
What is your granddaughter?
I gave up on trying to answer the questions right because for whatever reason, yeah, my answers hardly ever come through. So it's whatever.
Tim.
But what?
What is your grandchild doing?
Being a weirdo. I mean, Jesus, it's really not her fault. Yeah, definitely go join Ace over there on that. Definitely also don't forget about the Birdman Show recap. That is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Time, right over on my TikTok profile, which is at Birdman Show. Definitely go check us out on that. Definitely check us out on, if it's gonna do it. There we go. Our Instagram page, the Birdman Show. I really haven't been on there that much, so I apologize. I will start doing that a little bit more, so that way we can also start hopefully broadcasting live on that as well. For those who joined us on X, I know I have Twitter on here. I do apologize. I will make sure I change that. But yes, definitely follow us on us. We want to thank you guys who were watching us over there on X. You guys are awesome. But definitely come join us if you can on our X at Birdman Podcast. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much honestly it. I mean, we have the Patreon. I'm working on some things with that, so it's gonna be down for a little bit. I'm trying to figure out some things on that. But it is what it is. I definitely 100% want to thank my panelists that were on this episode of the Birdman Show. You guys are phenomenal as always. Even though Britt, we only saw you half the time of the show. Actually, not even half time. Like maybe 1/3. Yeah, Britt, you were just like ghost. But anyways, definitely want to thank Britt. Definitely want to thank Mama Bear. Want to thank Dez. Of course, I gotta thank my boy Ace. And I especially want to thank all of you out there, especially you, Carrie, aka Fury Storm. I'm starting to understand why you got that nickname, Fury Storm. You so angry. I love you. But no, that's my sister, man. I don't care, man. I do want to give a shout out to my other little sister from New York, Amanda. She couldn't join us. She had some things going on with fam, so she had to be there for that. And my boy Shane, who was supposed to be here, but they had some issues with the Wi-Fi and everything, power and all that good stuff, so he wasn't able to make it. Shane will be joining the Birdman Show.
He did.
Yeah,
he did pop in the chat.
But I just want to tell you, everybody, thank you very much. We love you guys. Don't forget to join us back here next week, 6 p.m. Central Time, right back here. This is the Birdman Show. I'm the Birdman, and we out.